Condos, condos, condos. The condo market is back. The demand for condos in South Florida is strong. Anthony Lamacchia here with Lamacchia Realty, and I am here to talk to you about what is going on in the entire South Florida region. Over the next 15 or so minutes, I want to do a monthly market update. I'm going to talk about our September report that we just put out. And one of the biggest things that I noticed in the report that I'm going to show you in a minute is condo demand is back. I think most of you know, and if you don't, then I'm here to tell you that we did see condo demand fall a bit more. And when we saw the demand come back after the pandemic last year, we saw a substantial increase in single family demand, but people were getting a little bit nervous about shared living. And the statistics are telling us that fear has pretty much worn off. It's gone at this point, and people are back to being interested in living in condos as well. And if you're someone like me who has stayed all along the coast of South Florida, you know that these condos on the water are very, very nice. And if they're back a few blocks from the condo, prices of them from the beach, prices of them are usually considerably lower. And they can be, good deals. They can be good buys. So what I want to do is I want to show you what's going on here in the condo market in South Florida and walk through not just the condo market, the entire market. I want to walk through the report with you and explain what we're seeing. So if I jump in here to Broward County and I pull up the entire report, I can show you that obviously, as I just mentioned, condos have picked up significantly. Every category, closed sales, average prices, new homes listed, properties pending, everything is up. New listings is only up 1%. But then you look at single families in Broward, and I can make it even bigger by clicking here. Single families in Broward sales are actually down 2.8%. So some people might hear that and get fooled into thinking like, okay, there's something wrong with the market. The market's getting bad. No. Don't be confused. What happened was last spring, we essentially lost 60 days in the market everywhere in the country. I mean, April, the last half of March, and then April and early May completely slowed down because of the pandemic and the stay-at-home orders. And then it made it so that last summer of 2020 became the spring. That inflated sales a ton, and that's why we're starting to see the market get back to a little bit of an equilibrium. As you can see by looking at those statistics, closed sales for single families are down 2.8%. Average prices up 30% compared to August of 2020. New homes listed up 2%. That's nothing. Pending sales are actually down a bit, which tells me that in September, we will see sales down a little bit too. And again, I don't want buyers to be mistaken when they see that. It's easy to see that as a buyer and wishfully think, "Ooh, look, prices are falling. The market is collapsing. This is great. I'll be able to buy at a bargain." No, not true. That is not what's going on. But the market is getting back to a little bit of normalcy. We're going to need a whole nother year to get back to it, but we're getting there. Now you look at Miami-Dade County, closed sales down 3.5% for singles, but look at condos, up 70%. That pretty much proves that last summer, condo activity was non-existent, right? So when you look at it, it really shows you how much condos have come back this summer, this past summer, and now they're obviously closing. Average prices for single families in Miami-Dade up 42%. Average prices for condos up 34%. I thought that was interesting. Now, let's think about that a little bit. 42% prices are up in Miami-Dade. Part of that, I know I say it every month, but I'll say it again, luxury sales are kind of throwing that average off, but there's no denying prices are up a lot. There's no question about it. Pending sales in Miami-Dade County are down 10%. What does that tell us? That tells us in September, sales will be down even more. If they're down 3.5% in August, they're going to be down a little bit more come September. And if you're a buyer, you should be thrilled to hear this. You should be thrilled because this means the market's getting, it's not back to normal. It's not back to pre-pandemic levels, but it's headed in the right direction. Look at this, Palm Beach County, same song I'm singing here. Closed sales down 10% for singles. Condos up 20%. But then look at average prices, up 24 and 17. New homes listed down a bit, pending sales down for singles, but up dramatically for condos. So, I mean, this is a pretty telling report, pretty consistent report over all three counties. And, you know, if you look at our summary here, what we talk about in the report is, as I said, in the words of Cole, who put this together, Cole Gagaro is our marketing director. She said here, you know, this is a slight sway into normalization and makes this the best time to buy in 2 years. Listen, folks, I said the same exact thing to Massachusetts buyers, New Hampshire buyers, I should just say New England buyers. The truth is, buyers nationally, that right now, the last 30 days, the next 30, even 45 days is the best time to buy in 2 years. I am certain that in 1 year, home prices will be higher, interest rates will be higher. So for those of you that pulled back and said, well, I got sick of competing and dealing with bidding wars, I'm just going to wait till next year. If you wait till 2022, you will face even more demand in the winter, certainly more than you see now. I don't know that it'll be as vicious and as frenzy-like as it was this past winter, but it's going to be close, folks. We're going into winter here with a lower inventory than we went in the last winter. And that's crazy to think about. The other thing I want to point out for South Florida, Canadian buyers have basically been locked out. Canadians as a whole have basically been locked out of the market due to all the border restrictions and everything that are going on. We just had an event, a realtor training event at the Marriott Harbor Beach a month ago, and 3/4 of our Canadian crowd didn't even come because it was just too much of a headache. And we were going to get a lot of people from Canada. So when you think about that, imagine that times all these buyers that normally come down. In addition to that, think about all the folks that are just snowbirds from Canada that didn't come down last year that are going to come down this year. They're going to be out looking more too. So because of what's going on in Canada, I expect more demand this winter, and foreign buyers are going to come back in the market. So it's kind of interesting. And this is good for you all to know if you're watching from South Florida or if you're watching from New England and you're thinking of buying in South Florida. I have been predicting with a reasonable amount of confidence that next winter, this winter coming up, won't be quite as frenzy-like as last up here in New England. I feel reasonably confident about that. In Florida, I don't feel as confident. The reason is foreign buyers are going to come back, like I just said. Canada's going to open the border. Things are going to get a lot easier after November 1st, the last I checked. So think about that. They come back. The snowbirds come back. New buyers, new interest comes back. Foreign buyers, South American buyers, particularly in Miami-Dade County, they come back. It could be as crazy as it was last winter. I'm still going to bet it won't be quite as bad, but it could be. So if you are a buyer of a condo or a single family, you've got to get out there and buy something in the next 6 to 8 weeks. There'll be plenty of new buyers come the first of the year. But if you can get yourself out there in the next 6 to 8 weeks to buy something, I promise you, you will be happy you did come January, February, March. Okay? Seasonality does pull inventory down a bit, not as much as it does in the northern states, but it does pull it down. In addition to that, there's a lot of snowbirds that didn't get to use their place last winter. They're going to use it this winter. So inventory is going to stay on the lower side December, January, February. If you are buying during that time, it's going to be challenging for you. That's why if you can buy before then, right now, it'll be a lot easier for you. As far as things go for home sellers, I will tell you the truth. You are still in the driver's seat. You are. But don't overplay your hand. We're seeing price adjustments. We're seeing some sellers say, I can't believe my unit's not selling, or I can't believe my home's not selling. Well, if you overdo your price, that's what can happen. So you have to be reasonable. You have to think to yourself, well, what would I pay for my home? Look at the comparative properties in the area. If everything in your neighborhood is selling for $800,000 and yours is similar in size and in quality, and you list at 9, you're not going to sell. Okay? You've got to be more in line. So keep those things in mind, buyers and sellers. And as I said, the biggest story of this report, in my opinion, for closed sales in the month of August is definitely what's going on with condos. Condos are back. That's all, my friends. Thank you very much. I will see you in a month.